Hi there, I'm Tom Lichtenheld. I'm an author and illustrator of picture books, and I'm here today to give a special shout out to a few people: Denise Lichty, Lynn Pittner, Jean DeFulvio, and Deb Schaffery. I understand you're retiring, and I'm here along with others to give you a big shout out and a big thank you for all the work you've done over the years on behalf of children and even people like me. So I'm not a teacher, but I've been in a few schools, and I've learned a lot of things, not just from the kids, but also from the teachers in my many school visits. One of the big things I've learned is how much teachers put into their work and how tirelessly they work on behalf of children. I say tirelessly because I'm tired after a school visit, and I get to go home and maybe not come back the next day, but you guys come back again and again, day after day. And among everything else that impresses me, your stamina is just mind-boggling. I get to go home and collapse after a couple days of being with the kids. And then I get to kind of absorb all their energy and all their wonderful ideas. And I really admire the way you guys get in there and stick with it and stick with those kids. So thank you for all of that. Now, I was thinking about your job and my job and what might be parallel, and the thing that occurred to me is that you know this better than I do, but you never know what you do that's going to stick with a child, do you? You never know what little piece of information or what little insight or something you teach them or show them might pop up later in their lives and what might turn out to be an inspiration to them. So because of that, you give it your all every day. And I do something similar in my books where I'll put little nuggets in them, maybe little hidden visuals, maybe a layered message in there somewhere. And I do that because I've learned from teachers and kids that they play back things to me that I either buried in there or hid in there, or even didn't even intend to, or didn't consciously put in there, that will inspire some child. And it's just so rewarding when I hear back about those things that meant something to a child. And I know that's what motivates you every day, that knowledge that you never know what's going to stick, so you give it your all every day, and I appreciate that. So speaking of you never know, I'm going to tell you a story about a book that I've heard you admire. The book is called I Wish You More, and I created this book with Amy Krauss Rosenthal. And I say you never know because you never know where an idea is going to come from. And that's often the case with books, and that was certainly the case with this book. This idea came from an unexpected place. It took a long time to gestate, and it was a lot of work, and it turned out it was worth it. So I'll tell you where this book came from. Years ago, I used to work in the advertising business, as did Amy Krauss Rosenthal. That's kind of where we met. And we would make commercials and things. And one day we had a casting call for kids for a commercial. And all these kids showed up, and they would do their little bit in front of the camera, and they were all, just drop dead cute, of course. But this one little girl got up, and her sweater was misbuttoned. I have a picture of her here. I'm indebted to this little girl. So I don't know if you can see that, but you see how her sweater is one hole off. And I thought, oh, that's so cute. She has more buttons than holes. And I thought, maybe there's an idea there. So when I went home that night, I did a little drawing of her, and the drawing looked like this. And I thought, I wonder if that could be a book. So sometimes when I have an idea for a book, I'll test it out, and I'll kind of make it look like a book. So I made a title page, and I called it More Buttons Than Holes. And I actually put the publisher's logo on there, Chronicle Books, so I wanted to publish the book, because it's kind of like the power of suggestion. I figured, well, I sent this to them and their logo's already on there. It's kind of a done deal for them. All they have to do is print it. So I came up with a whole bunch of things that are kind of like more buttons than holes. I came up with this drawing, and it says, more quackers than crackers. And it's a little girl in front of a whole bunch of ducks, and she's got just a few little crackers in her bag. So I did a whole bunch of drawings like this, and I sent them to the publisher. It was, more this than that kind of situations. And the publisher said, that's really cute. We like that you put our logo on the title page already, but it needs a soul. They're just clever little observations, and they don't have much reason to be. And I thought, you're right, it does need a soul. And I thought, I need some help with this. And there's no one I know better for giving an idea a soul than Amy Krause Rosenthal. So I said, Amy, would you sit down with an idea with me and just noodle it around a little bit with me, and let's see if we can give this thing more heart than it has just as these observations. So Amy and I worked for, a couple of months off and on, and we came up with some very clever things. This is kind of a pure Amy idea: more cake than candle, more candle than cake. And it's a little baby, 1-year-old, and an older grandma with a bunch of candles. So we came up with a whole bunch of these things, and we were at a convention in Chicago one day with the editor, Victoria Roth, who was with the publisher, and we were just sitting around with all these drawings and things that were more this than that, and looking for a way to give it more heart, more soul. And actually, it wasn't me, it was either Victoria or Amy, said, let's make it a wish. Let's make it a wish from someone to someone for more bounty, more of this, more of that. So as soon as we did that, as soon as it became a wish, kind of a, there was a connection from one person to another, it immediately had more heart. So even some of the things that we'd already drawn got to go into the book, but now they're wishes. I wish you more ups than downs. You guys probably have the book memorized. I wish you more tippy toes than deep. I wish you more we than me. So Amy and I worked on a whole bunch of these, and one of our rules was the wishes could not be for material things. We were not wishing anyone more toys or more wealth or a new Xbox. They were for qualities and for connection, and we made sure that the wishes were more inspiring than just material, and we made sure that the wishes were things that were about generosity and magic. I wish you more snowflakes than tongue. That's about magic. So this book, took a long time to develop, and the most difficult part, as usual, was the ending. And Amy came up with this: I wish you more stories than stars. I wish all of this for you, because you are everything I could wish for and more. And that's the story of I Wish You More. And I wish you more. In particular, I can show you an outtake from the book, but I wish you, in your retirement, more high than by. So thank you very much, and take care. Bye.